Hello and welcome to another episode of The Card Show. For those that are listening, you don't get to see me. Luckily, there's no visuals, so you're not missing too much. But if you are watching, you get to see my beautiful piano this way. So close with hand gestures. But yes, welcome to another episode. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is doing well this fine January. We'll talk about sort of being new to the hobby, some sort of hints, tips, I suppose. I don't know what you'd call it. Jabber, jibber jabber. Quick jabber jabber jabber. Yeah, so to one of the things that I think is going to be quite integral going forward to the hobby, especially in certain areas, and yeah, other sort of the ways of negating the hobby, whether you are new or whether you just find something a bit of a rut, I suppose. But yeah, let's get into it without further ado. I strongly believe, um, you know, take this how you want to take it, that a big part of helping to grow sort of Bessie sports cards counts, and it's don't get me wrong, in hand it's going to grow TCG, but I think TCG doesn't need this aspect of it as much. So I'm going to sort of zone in more on sports cards side of things. But I think one of the big things is going to be shops and stores. So I'll run through a few of them now, so you know where the local one is. I'm going to miss loads. Don't get me wrong. I want to talk about the main few that you'll see, and another reason why I'll sort of say they'll be quite big for the hobby is because let's say for instance you find out it's a local card show and you go to a card show, and all of a sudden you find out that one of the vendors at the card show that you spoke to and got on well with, you brought products from or suppliers from, etc. All of a sudden they've got a store. I'll go down, they're good guys. You start building the community that way, right? It's how you start building the community, repeat customers, you help them, offer insight, etc. And that's it. You just keep building that way. So that's what's going to lead me on to some of these places. So let's look at I'll start with the boys over at Third Down. Obviously, again, none of these are paid sponsorships, whatever nonsense you may call it. This is just personal experience from knowing the people, being at the premises, etc., etc. So Third Down. I'm going to talk about Third Down first. That's obviously in Crossroads, West Yorkshire. Third Down, I think it's called Trading Card Shop now, the whole business. But obviously, we know from years past, you would have seen them at pretty much every show the UK has had to offer. They've even done Germany, I think it was they did. So yeah, they were already sort of deep bedded in the community through constantly being at shows, constantly showing up, constantly having the supplies, and obviously doing 3D printed stands. I was just about to say I got one with me, but I don't, so I can't even show you one. I had loads of me. Well, I say loads. I had my 4 down the other day. I was taking pictures of cards in my little photo box I bought. That's down there still, but yeah, I put my other. They've gone back to the bedroom where the magic happens, and that's why you have your prized possessions on the wall there. So we know when you're doing the deed, you can look and flex and go, yeah, me too. But anyway, yeah. So I think they're going to be, because of them being so deep embedded in the community that way, having a store, having a hub, which is quite a good location as well, like centrally, like almost central UK, right? Or central England, West Yorkshire, give or take. It's pretty central. Decent links. It's obviously train. You have to get there by car. Good car park. So it's going to draw people in because of who they are. And then you got the local community in West Yorkshire. I didn't know if Yorkshire was about that sort of thing. Obviously, there's a Yorkshire card show. So again, people may find out about Yorkshire card show first. People may find out about the card shop opening on the doorstep. Then all of a sudden find out it's a card show. And sort of it helps just grow that way. I think it helps as well with Third Down. Obviously, the very social, whether it be social media or whether it be at shows, or even before shows, after shows, or trade night events. Again, that will help grow. But again, we need to sort of people. You probably think, oh well, I don't need to go down there. I'm not new to hobby. I don't need to learn anything. Is just not shops just not for new people in the hobby, right? There's going to be stuff for you to go there and get, collect, buy, sell. Just have good chats. They do events for sports as well. I think he's on a few of the NFL nights. They do streaming there. they've been cashing people out at shows as well. So it helps get the money back into the hobby, right? Um, so yeah, that's obviously great for sort of the West Yorkshire Central people want to link down, especially if you want to come down from north to south for a show, or even a Yorkshire card show, Northwest card show, like Manchester or something like that. Manchester card show, Manchester card con, wherever tickles your pickle there. You've got a little stop by. If you're going up to the Scotland card show, passing your way up, got free time weekend, fly past. You said maybe you fancy watching. I reckon they'll do it. I've not seen a post. I don't know. I don't have like inside information. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do something in the Super Bowl. You know, even though both their teams are out. Not that my team are going to make it. I think it might be a Bills Commanders Super Bowl, which would be crazy. But that's another time for another day. Then we have Triple C's, obviously just moved premises now. So now I'm going to say overseas, right? Siston. I'm pronouncing how I read it. That's what I'm saying to you guys. Siston in Leicester. Again, quite a central location, really. Leicester's not like too far one way, too far the other way. You could argue, actually, don't really know where Leicester is too far on the map. So I'm going to say it's kind of central. I think it is. If you're a geography guy out there, holler at me. But again, I think it's a good location. They've obviously moved premises. They've done well in the first premises. They moved to a new premises, a bigger premises. Actually, had to gone down there funny enough, today of recording this with Rainey. So we had a good idea of. I think Rainey is picking up a grading submission. Another thing I'm talking now, nothing to do in some of these stores is grading submissions with these stores. So yeah, Rainey was going to pick it up. I said it could have gone down there, would have filmed the shop, done a reveal, could have filmed that, and we could have recorded a episode of the Philadelphia Card podcast as well, like live and direct one. But unfortunately, events on my end held this up. Unfortunately, but doesn't mean it's never going to happen. It just means it didn't happen today. So hopefully we'll get that sorted for another time. It'd be kind of cool to go down there and stuff like that, and have to record a pod as well, live and direct pod would be cool. So again, they also do sort of memorabilia, Funkos, clothing as well. Now they got a little consignment of clothing, a local like retro clothing, sort of NFL, NBA clothing, sort of stuff. I think MLB as well, maybe NHL. So again, it's sort of you might go in there for that sort of thing. The coach, you might see him in the windows, the coats, the hats, etc. And all of a sudden, into cards. And again, Triple C, one of the owners, Lee, obviously not only co-hosts a podcast, because he's in the community that way, also goes to quite a few shows, runs his own show as well, which is the Leicester Card Show. And obviously we've been co-hosting, he obviously co-hosts with Ben, who runs the Manchester Card Con. So, sort of deep roots in the hobby. Obviously they go shows, etc. So, it's a way of growing. I think like where these are, like Yorkshire and Leicester, it's like growing a hobby in these areas that helps expand out, right? We already know London has a big fan base, big collector base. We see it at London Card Show. You see amount of people turn up from it at a local. Was it Brighton, Southampton? All down south, such a big core of collectors and investors. So now growing these sort of up and down the country is great. They don't have to be Manchester, London, sort of Liverpool. These locations like Yorkshire, Leicester. The next one we're talking about Loughborough. It helps grow it in those communities, which are only going to help the hobby in the long run. It's sort of getting those eyes on from people that didn't have their eyes on the hobby, sort of thing. So I think this will help massively. Yes, that's obviously third down in Crossroads in Yorkshire. We've got Triple C's in Siston, Leicester, and next up, the one I just touched on then, Football Cards Direct in Loughborough. What the hell's happened there? I suppose it couldn't set a weird thing on my finger. So that's not officially open yet. I don't know if you've seen some of their posts on Instagram. But yeah, they are almost there. And they open as recording this in like 11 days. I almost said it's 31 days in January. I'm not very good with how many days in each month. I don't lie to you. I'm going to say 31st of Jan. I'm going to try and pop down there as well. Obviously, I've been thinking to clear up my end. It'd be cool to do a few little like card shop tours. I think me and Sports Cards UK talked about this a while ago of doing well, I don't know if it'd be a crazy weekend, but yeah, crazy tour of shops and stuff like that would be kind of cool. But yeah, that'd be one to get to. Also, football cards are been at shows, just been at London. People will know him from obviously Trade We. They bought that and do a lot of consignments at eBay. And then obviously they were supply to a lot of people with cards, whether that be wax or singles. So again, someone else in the hobby quite deeply. I did business for a good few years now. Opening a store in not your London, not your Manchesters, not your Liverpools, in Loughborough. New space to grow the hobby, sort of thing. Hopefully, I've seen some of the videos, the shop winners, and they have a lot of signed merch, which again people may go in for that sort of stuff. You may see a signed like Haaland shirt, a signed Ahmad Diallo shirt, a signed Manu shirt. I don't know. Don't quote me if they got them players, but I'm just saying you might see it in the window, go in, and all of a sudden see the cards and find out you can get signed cards or very limited to 10 to 5 of that player. So and it sort of draws an interest. And all of a sudden, new range of collectors come in. Next up, sports cars direct. I'm going to go there first because obviously, been at card shows, have their own card show in CardCon, have a shop in Plymouth, which will probably best serve a lot more people down south. Yes, it is a kind of, I've heard before, like from London, it's not direct. I think when you come from Manchester, you sort of think if you're Plymouth, Southampton, everything's close to London, you can get there quite easy. But apparently, it's like not super quick, super easy, but it's not horrible. If that makes sense. So what a great place to put it in Plymouth, right? End of the country, pretty much coastal weekends. Go to a card show. Go in Farnborough. Go to a card shop in Plymouth. It will help grow the community there, and hopefully that same community then will grow to Farnborough show, then grow to the London car show, which is a few stops down the road, I think, on a train line. If I remember correctly, I think out of London is Esher or Esher, you want to say it, and then Farnborough a few stops later, and going back obviously from Plymouth, where I'm pretty sure it'll be Farnborough first, and then London car show a couple of stops after. So it helps grow it that way as well. They've invested quite a lot in their team, and they've brought a guy from Futera. They've done a lot with the store and stuff like that. So it'll help grow the hobby. I think it's another. I mean, look at the sort of the spine of just them sort of 4 shops, sort of right down England and to the coastline. I don't think it's a straight line, but Plymouth, Loughborough, Leicester, Yorkshire, like it's not never, you shouldn't now against a stage where I'm never too far from a card shop, right? Which for people who are in the hobby, that's kind of cool. It's something else to go and do, especially if you have them. We had them months where there's no card shows. You can, I'll go to a card shop. If you're local, it helps to grow the hobby in them areas. Kids go to school, tell their friends, I went here. The word of mouth keeps it growing. The next generation of collectors come in, and the next generation of investors come in, right? Sports Trading Cards UK, Enterprise Way, Edenbridge, it's like Kent Way or Kent. I don't know if it's like Kent Way. People know Sports Trading Cards UK. Obviously, break quite a lot. I think got a few channels now on Whatnot. Been at most shows, especially down south. Which you'd expect if you're a down south business, by the way. There's this thing. Oh, they don't come to many shows up north. Can you imagine logistics of getting stock up for like coming up Friday night, safely storing it in his vehicle Friday night where you stay over to fresh first thing in the morning, or even doing it that day, like doing it Saturday morning. Yeah, just driving up to a show. I get it why them places don't come up as much because the amount of stock, what stock do you bring, how much that stock do you bring. So I'm never too worried about that sort of stuff. They always do shows down south. I think they sponsor a few shows. And they've had the shop for a while. They've opened it hours up a little bit more now. So it seems to be a lot more, which is good. And again, Kent isn't a million miles away from London, so it helps the London side of things, right? But if you wanted something closer to London, there's always Kaboom's Cards in Wells Terrace, Finsbury Park. So, there's that's probably like real close to, I'm gonna say, Arsenal football ground. Don't quote me on that either. I've yet to go. I know Dan has done it a few times, and trade nights there. Another good thing that they do is a trade night. They've got like a room upstairs. They've hosted the Tops Rip nights. They also do card shows. I think they do breaking as well. So they're expanding it that way and getting out there, but having a shop, especially isn't it like close to football ground. I don't know how close it is. I don't think it's a million miles away, but don't quote me. I think it's quite close. Um, Kids going past, you know, the next generation. Even grown men going past it to a game. Yeah, I think if they had the memorabilia as well, it sort of drive me in. I don't have to do much memorabilia. I think it is more sports and sort of TCG Pokemon cards, if that sort of area. But it'll drum people in that way. It's they're popping up now, and then now obviously we have the Fnatic store in Westfield, London. I think that is temporary. I'm not totally sold on this one. I think it's a great location. They got the money to put it in that location. Everyone knows if you're from Manchester, it's like your Trafford Centre on steroids. It's like a massive shopping centre. Um, yeah, I think it is temporary. So that is what it is. But it could draw a lot of people in. I think the prices could put people off because I'm hearing it's priced quite hard. And a lot of stuff. I think they've got the give a card, take a card wall there. Don't quote me on that. Maybe it's just like for a few nights or whatever. But yeah, they've obviously done a tops like exclusive thing, which obviously was for they made it like you had a chance to get in, like, oh, enter here and send to some friends and this other, and you watch the videos and it's all just the sort of the influencers and the backhanders, them sort of guys. So yeah, that's there. If people know the name as well. So I think if you see Fnatic or see Tops, they sort of have a resonation with it, especially sort of different generations and maybe just people who've just been on Fnatic by jerseys or caps, etc. And all of a sudden, oh, Fnatic store, and caps is just cards, get you into cards that way, right? So yeah, I think they are doing as a recording. He might have finished now. To be fair, by the time it's out, I don't know to check the socials, but I know London Card Show are doing a trade event with like I think it's one night but two different shifts. So yeah, you can apply for one of the two shifts. I think it's like limited numbers. So yeah, so if it's all open, try and apply for that. If it's something up to you up for, go in there and a bit of a trade night. That's there. But I think having these, I mean, obviously I know that the last three there, London, Kent, and even Plymouth, where it's like down south, but Loughborough, West Yorkshire, Leicester, as you can see, they're sort of coming north and to help grow the hobby. Let's say again, there's between them as well, there's loads of like Pokemon TCG stores. I also know Chloe and Pokedino have one, Randolph's building one, there's Card Empire, there's card shops everywhere, and I think there is it the great Alex Mason he's been doing like a bit of a card shop tour lately on his YouTube channel, so go and check them out if you want to find local card shops in like random areas. He seems to dig them out quite well. Again, a lot of TCG Pokemon sort of stuff, but again, it's a sign of the more they're popping up, the bigger the hobby is growing. I think it's a great hub for people, right? A great little spot for people to go and sort of hang out with like-minded people. And it's also a good spot to find some bargains there, because when they buy them cards and they put them in their dollar boxes, they don't know how well this prospect might do or what sort of performance spike they might have. So just saying. But yeah, that's something I do think will do well in the future. Let me know your thoughts. Have you been to them shops that are open? Obviously, do you plan on going to these shops? Are they close to you? Do you think, oh, I didn't know it was that close, I want to go? Or yeah, it's close. We'll see. I think it'll be interesting to see how much they do now within sort of card shows. Do they still want to attend as much with them having the shop? Does it mean you'll have less sort of vendors will stay down, go to less shows now because obviously they've got the shop running. Do football cards direct go to less shows because they've got a shop? It's weekends, school kids, etc. Same with triple C's. Do you all of a sudden do they go to less shows? Do they open the door for new vendors to come through? We'll see. It's going to be interesting in 2025. I said shops to keep opening, shows keep happening. As I was recording this, what we're literally about to start the madness season, right? Where it shows every like 2 or 3 shows every week or so now. Up and down the country. So yeah, it's an exciting time. To be in this hobby. Don't know if it's going to be the best time for investors or for collectors, but I think it's going to be a very exciting time. I think the downside is obviously the people making the cards aren't the best. The Topps and Panini are just messing up massively, but it could be a sign that the older stuff and you go vintage and even sort of the last 5-10 years before that, before now, not before vintage, but yeah, is going to have a bit of a resurgence. We shall see. But it's going to be very interesting. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think this will help or hinder the hobby? I'm intrigued to know. Yeah, well, that's that part on shows and shops, because I do think shops and the sort of community hubs that they bring will be a massive sort of boost for the hobby. Would you like to see a shop in a different area? Do you live in an area of Newcastle and you think, oh, we'd love a sports card shop? I always thought that's what Fanatics and Tots would do with their licensing. I thought they'd start putting little pop-up shops in football grounds, for instance. Especially the amount of team sets they've got. Team sets and have a few little other products there. That's a Prism to a chance of actually getting a nice Haaland auto, etc. But no such luck. But yeah, that is what that is. There was something else I was talking about. I completely forgot now. Card shows, card shops, the hobby in general. Negating the hobby, that was it. Negating the hobby. So, if you're new to the hobby and somehow you stumble across this podcast, or you know someone that's doing hobby and you would think, oh, that'd be a good lesson for them. It's not so much advice, it all depends on what you want from this hobby. Don't get too swayed with daft people on social media. They're going to like, they're repping top shirt in a top store, telling you how great Topps is and new products out, So you think, oh, I'm going to spend all money on this. If you are purely in this to collect cards and, you have a player or a team or even a league, some people just like to collect the leagues, base cards and stuff, that's fine. You collect what you want to collect. You go buy, you want to go about it. There's plenty of tools to find out. You make sure you get the best price you get it for. You can always use eBay searched. Just search for sold and completed. You have to click them both on little tabs to make sure it's sold and completed, and you can do that, and it'll tell you the latest prices of them cards, so you can find out if you're buying it a bit too high, a bit too low. If you're not using eBay to buy cards, if you're going elsewhere, there's obviously free apps like 130 Point. There is paid apps, Market Movers, Card Ladder. I don't need to plug any affiliate code, but I have one, so I'm not biased to it. Try and use. I find it easiest and one of the most complete ones so far in Market Movers. But yeah, that is what that is. People may find 130 Point easiest, Card Ladder, Card Hedger, or whatever it may be. I think it's collectibles.com, whatever it may be. There's loads of them. But make sure you're utilizing those tools to help make sure you are getting the best price for your cards. Either it's a collection, if it's your personal collection, you think, I don't care about the price, I'll never sell it. Surely you want to spend less, you can bring in more, right? It's kind of easy maths right there. Spend less, bring in more, don't worry about it. And again, if you are getting into this hobby because you all went to invest, it's very difficult because you're going to see a lot of people who in sports card investor influencers sort of thing. They don't really talk about investing in cards anymore because they took a lot of stick because they were telling us to buy. I mean, even Jeff Wilson was talking about Will Greer was a great investment. I think they said he's better than Kyler Murray and all that stuff. So it's such a fragile market. You don't want to get say something like that. There is many ways to make money in this hobby, if that is your goal. But you do have to put in the work. You do have to sort of know the sports as well, I would say. It's the reason why I wouldn't invest in hockey, for instance. I don't watch hockey enough. I've been to a few games. Yes, I was obviously in New York for a game like a year ago. But I don't watch it as much as I should. I don't keep up with it as much. So I didn't really spend money buying, getting into products or buying Bedard or etc. when everyone's talking about him. I just stayed in my lane. I know soccer, football. I'm in the UK. I'm a City fan. I'm a season ticket holder. I know NFL because I watch it. I try and go when I can. There is London or obviously Germany or in America. And basketball, I think I've phased out a lot of basketball. Still have a lot of basketball cards, and wrong, but it's investments now that are sort of I just sort of wrote off losses. It's like, okay, done. Um, I just don't watch as much as I used to, time wise. Time the games are on and time when I'm just busy in general. Try and catch highlights as and when, but that's why I just don't invest in it because I just wouldn't know enough. Maybe a time I get back into it a little bit. Victor is obviously a big one. I do like watching Victor Wembanyama. I think he's unbelievable. But again, I watch a handful of games. I'd be lucky if I watch 3 or 4 games a week. Yeah, round about that. Honestly, it's tough. It's tough. Whereas I can watch a multitude of NFL games when they're on, obviously. So yeah, advice there I'd give to people. It's come to collecting. Look at the cards. So if you don't like Prism, especially because it changes year, you may like a certain year of Prism. Don't feel you have to always get involved and buy Prism and this, that, the other boost because some idiots are telling you to. If your personal collection, you may like Prism from a certain year, but that's all you want to collect. You may then like select from a following year, but not the year before, and that's what you're going to collect. I've done a similar thing. I've liked certain Prisms, and I'm going to actually want to get a few more of them, go through not so much a rainbow, but get a few different variants of it. The year after, I'm like, I just don't like it. I'm not going to be interested. So, it swings around roundabouts. But when it comes to investing, it's completely different, right? Because it's no longer what you like of the card. It's who's the hype person in this card, who could potentially have like a hype spike, who's going to have good performances that people are going to be interested in and be a searchable name that they really want to sort of pick up cards for, whether that's a casual fan or someone who thinks that he had a good hype now, but it can go higher if he takes his team to Super Bowl, a Premier League title, NBA Finals, etc. So that's why you got to be sort of in the sport, sort of know who's going to be playing well, who's got a chance, you don't want to be picking up someone who's on a loaded roster because you think, the time can be limited, don't have much time, stuff like that. So it's all about knowing it a little bit more, knowing the products, and then obviously the release dates because you're gonna have big spikes when it's first in the market because if you're the first one that's selling, especially a graded card, you sort of can command the market a little bit, and then it sort of goes down because more and more sort of hop in at pop 10s, pop 9s, etc. And then the rest of it is all just performance spikes, up, down, when he's doing well, when he's interested in him or her, if you collect women's cards. So, yeah. I will do a bit more in depth on that sort of thing. It's interesting. I'll do a bit of a data dive and how I use market movers to sort of buy, sell cards, etc. And I should use this pod a little bit more to stuff. I probably will do a little series on stuff soon. I don't know. But yeah, I just thought today with shops, I should have been in a shop as well. I thought to talk about shops, the community hub aspect, and obviously getting involved in cards, whether it's collecting, investing, etc. But as always, you guys are the real MVPs, and I appreciate more than you know. Holler at me if you need anything. And let me know your thoughts on what I just said, whether around the shops and community aspect of it. But I think they will grow. I think they'll be a massive part, especially with the next generation. And yeah, if you think I'm just chatting nonsense about collecting or investing, do you think you can just invest blindly without knowing the sports? Do you think you could just go and, not use these tools and just go, everyone's talking about Wembanyama, I just buy Wembanyama. Or yeah, everyone's talking about Mahomes, I'll buy Mahomes. Or Josh Allen is big one at the moment. Obviously, probably going to be MVP. Let me know your thoughts because I'm all ears. But until next time, I can't remember what I was going to say. I was going to say I had some videos lined up, but I don't think. So yes, take care. I will see you guys soon. Peace.